Attention parents and coaches. Do you wish you had a safe social media platform for your youth athletes? Fortunately for you, there's a revolutionary new app that helps with just that. Introducing Small Player, Big Play. Small Player, Big Play app provides young athletes, parents, and coaches a user-friendly sports social media platform. The app allows users to connect with friends, make new friends, create groups, text, chat, and post pictures and videos of you and your teammates participating in your favorite sport or activity. To begin, users can simply download and sign up for the app using an email account. Younger users have the ability to sign up using their smartphone and a parent's email address. From there, users can begin to interact and engage with other users of the app. Small Player Big Play app also gives users the ability to live stream full games and events. You can live stream your event so that friends, family, or anyone in the world can see you in action. Users can also share posts from the app to their other social media accounts like Facebook and Twitter. What are you waiting for? Get in the game and share your love of sports with the world. Download the Small Player Big Play app today.
Are you ready to listen to my dad Joe and Uncle Justin talk about sports? Now on with the show.
The Joe Mays and J-Raff Show is brought to you by Mays Sandwich Shop, which have been serving the greater West Lawn area delicious food for over 70 years. You are listening to the Joe Mays and J-Raff Show.
Boring.
A weekly podcast about sports since 2011.
Don't you ever get tired of being wrong all the time?
With a focus on football.
Sue, late in his career, is going to have his first Super Bowl title. Now, no wonder they want to call it Tampa Bay. Or Tampa Brady. One more snap, would you have guessed when this impossible season was trying to launch that you'd get it all in, you'd get to Tampa, and when the Super Bowl ended, the ball would be in the hands of Tom Brady.
I don't know why we ever think it won't.
The Tampa Bay Buccaneers have a second Super Bowl title in franchise history.
And Tom Brady doesn't pass the torch quite yet to Mahomes, does he? No. Even though
you're looking at the greatest right there.
Now, here are your hosts, Joe Mays and Justin Raffauf. Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to the Joe Mays and J-Raff Show. I'm one of your hosts, Joe Mays, and here with me, though not on screen at the moment, is my co-host, Justin Raffauf.
Yeah, it's good to be back.
Yes, we are in our third episode of our NCAA Football 14 Dynasty, where Justin and I are taking turns playing offense and defense for our Florida Atlantic Owls, year one of Dynasty for us. We are 0-3, so off to a great start, Justin.
Yeah,
excellent.
Yeah, oh my gosh.
It's all good stuff.
Got nothing to say about it.
Yeah, really. And, it is what it is. We don't have too much to say about it otherwise, but we are struggling, to say the least. But this evening we're going to play two games. First up is Florida Atlantic hosting Middle Tennessee State. I don't want to say too much because I don't want to jinx us, but
no, we'll see. Because I thought we were going to get it last week.
Right, I thought we were going to get it last week too. We looked good against Florida.
South Florida took it.
But South Florida, they beat us worse than Miami and Florida did. Florida beat us worse, so that wasn't great. But tonight we are playing against Middle Tennessee State, and we're going to get the ball rolling right here. I am on defense this week for these two games, so I'm going to switch spots with Justin. I'm not sure our camera is working, but we'll have the video game up and we'll be talking to you throughout. So here we go. We're going to discuss March Madness and NFL Offseason while we game. All right. So
what do you want to talk first?
Yeah, right. Well, let's do March Madness since it's going on right now and it's the most up-to-date active thing.
Okay.
So I was doing really well to the end of the Elite Eight. The last game of, I believe the Michigan game was the last game to go to the Final Four.
Yes.
And that screwed me over because I had Michigan in the Final Four.
Which, by the way, UCLA went from having to play a
first
playing
four.
game. I know they don't like to call them playing games. They but that's what they are. They're playing games. They went from a playing game to the Final Four, which is insane.
It is crazy. But good for them. I don't have anything against UCLA.
No, me either. And
thinking back to when Kevin Love was there, that was back when we were in college, right?
By the way, Kevin Love and Russell Westbrook were on that team that went to the Final Four.
Yeah, that was good.
Good
times.
That's insane. That is insane. I don't know that. I don't think. Oh man!
Catch the ball.
I don't know that. I don't know that Kevin Love will be a Hall of Famer. That's a really tough one to judge right now.
I don't believe so, but I'm not going to say
right.
no.
And basketball's weird because it's basketball Hall of Fame. It's not necessarily the NBA Hall of Fame. But Russell Westbrook absolutely will be a Hall of Famer, and that was a loaded UCLA team. To see them do it this way, a little differently this time, but it's cool. They have the transfer kid from Kentucky, but yeah, it's good for them. Good for them. There we go. Nice defense.
So that Michigan game screwed me because if Michigan won, I would have had the entire Final Four correct, which I don't know if I've ever done that in the 25 years that I've been doing brackets. So I was mad about that. And then today, Houston got spanked by Baylor, and they were my champion. I felt like going in that I had to pick someone different because I knew a lot of people were going to pick Gonzaga. So I wanted to be a little different.
So I actually have a Gonzaga hat.
Well, we were talking about it right before the show started. Again, the onus of why we decided to do a show. We're literally repeating the stuff we talked about before the show because we can't help ourselves from talking about these things when we're not on the air. But we're big Gonzaga fans when they were the Cinderella team from 20-ish years ago.
Well, and that's about the time I bought the hat because they're the Bulldogs, and so it was a Bulldog hat, and I bought it.
Of course, why wouldn't you?
Right, exactly.
It just makes too much sense. So Justin's on offense here for these two games. A better start for us this game so far. We are at home, Florida Atlantic. Looking good. I told Justin this before the show started. If you've been with us the first two sessions, the first three games, you notice that I'm playing with an outdated roster file that has a lot of players named XX. X first name, X last name.
I'm just going with the coaches' picks here. Keep it simple right now.
Oh, that's exactly what I was
doing. All they're doing is making us pass, which has me super nervous.
But I renamed the...
Catch the ball.
Yeah, remember from last week? The running back can't catch.
Yeah.
I renamed the Florida Atlantic roster with just made-up names. I used a random name generator. So all of our players, finally, for Game 4 here, have names. I'm sorry if it's not the actual players that were on the 2019 Florida Atlantic Owls, but that's where we're at. It's better than nothing. I think that's one of my random name guys.
That's all right.
Usmain Poole. So, we'll take it.
Yeah,
good catch, Poole. So, last week, Justin and I, if you missed those games, we hosted Florida, and we hung tight with them. Just couldn't seal the deal. Wasn't too bad. Then we started off strong against USF. Yeah, there's that blue chip tight end. We started off strong against South Florida, and actually I think we're winning. Weren't we winning 7-3?
Yeah, and then they rolled off 42.
42 unanswered on us, which was not great. But hey, we're off to a good start here. I like it.
We'll take it. Threw it right down the field on them.
I'll get that first W.
Yeah,
Hopefully, on this random Saturday night game, Jamie Sands is watching, and my dad too. My dad was ripping us in the chat. Did you see that? He was basically like, "You guys suck."
And I have no comeback.
Yeah, what do I say? We're 0-3. He's not wrong.
Yeah. So sorry. I got us a little sidetracked, I think, and also our couple minutes of success in the game got us sidetracked a little bit. But so Michigan, UCLA beating Michigan hurt you. But you were still doing really well.
Yeah, I was
Having
3 for
3 out
4.
of 4 is pretty good.
And both championship
But
teams left.
Houston got smoked
Houston
by
just
Baylor.
looked bad
Now,
today.
Baylor has been good all year. They've been a top 5 team. Got shut down a little bit for COVID early in the season. And actually, in that game, one of the games that got canceled, they were supposed to play Gonzaga, which is pretty incredible because they would have been a 1-2 matchup, I believe, at the time. But it'll be interesting because Gonzaga held Michigan, to 41 points or something like that? Or 49 points?
48 or 49, yeah.
Which is crazy because Michigan have been scoring a lot. Gonzaga's got like one of the best offenses in the league. But Baylor's got what a lot of people would say is the best defense. So, like, if Gonzaga can beat UCLA tonight to get to the Final Four, then that absolutely would set up an incredible matchup.
Great matchup.
Like,
One of the best
on
matchups
paper.
we've had.
Yes. So, like, nothing against UCLA, like we mentioned, but I would be really excited for that matchup.
Yeah, I'll take it. Like, I'm a Penn State fan through and through. They're not great in men's basketball.
No.
Syracuse is the other team growing up that I always lean to, and they had a decent run as a high seed again. But
yeah, I kind of root for Villanova.
Nova's
to
a
be
good
honest,
one.
What it was, like you said, if Penn State's good, like I'll root for them and everything. But generally, they're a non-factor when it comes to college basketball. Not last year being an exception, which is unfortunate.
Right.
But,
yeah.
Like, when I was a senior in high school, I went to a Villanova game with your cousin.
Yes.
And they actually played UCLA, a ranked UCLA team. And this was when it was a huge recruiting game because the guys like Kyle Lowry and those guys were there on recruiting visits that weekend. And Todd and I were in the student section, and your uncle and my dad were actually in other seats, and UCLA missed a shot at the buzzer, and we stormed, the students stormed the court, and we stormed the court. Like, it was really cool.
That was a cool one to be at. That's
so
for
yeah,
sure.
it was a good thing to, two of my choices here are the same.
Are you, what option are you in? Are you in recent plays?
Maybe. No, because I haven't run any of these plays. Oh, what am I doing?
It's alright.
He caught it.
He caught it, so it's a win.
Let me see where we're at here. No, I'm just an ass coach. But it's alright. We got it.
They only give you 3? I guess, is that
I mean,
limited?
I'm sure I could scroll through, maybe, but, I haven't.
Is that limited maybe because we don't have anything unlocked? You know what I mean? Like the coaching thing, we don't get enough recommendations. I should be playing as a crappy team in my downtime.
I mean, there are more. I just haven't been scrolling through.
Instead of playing as my Penn State Dynasty in my 7th year where all my guys are in the 90s.
Yeah.
But it's so much more fun to play as the Penn State guys in the 90s. I still have decent battles. I'm not quite ready to go to Heisman. Especially against some of the ranked teams that I meet up with. Because I always stack my schedule, I always been playing Texas, Oklahoma, Georgia, Notre Dame, and all on the road, too, because I try to knock off their home winning streaks. That's the best. So, all right, I'll take it. 7-0 with the ball at the end of the first.
Yeah.
It's a good start.
Yeah, we'll take that for sure.
So, all right, if Gonzaga wins tonight, Gonzaga-Baylor, I know you picked Gonzaga in your pool. Are you sticking with Gonzaga? And that's the way the season was expected to go?
I can't go away from him at this point yet. Sticking with them, I want to see them win. And like I said, that's not a knock on Baylor. Because, I don't have anything against Baylor, but, I want to see the perfect season. I want to see that. That would be pretty incredible. So, might have been better off dropping that anyway.
So, let's see. And there weren't huge NFL ramifications, at least in terms of draft picks, trades, signings this last week. I think one of the more interesting things, and you and I might have opposing viewpoints on this, I'm not sure. or it might be something that you don't care that much about, but you know I do. The Chiefs proposed a rule that would allow more players to wear more jersey numbers to make it more like the college game or high school game, where only basically the offensive linemen have to wear certain numbers 50 through 79 because of eligibility issues. It's easier for the referees to know who can and can't line up or catch the ball.
Come on.
So that's the only thing I can think about that we might want to talk about. And another jersey-related thing would be your quarterback already changing numbers.
Yeah, changing to 1, which is kind of funny. Well, it's funny to me for lots of reasons. 1, I didn't buy a Hurts jersey last year. 2, a lot of people have joked about, and I've seen some of like the ones where they took like the Wentz jersey and added a plus sign in between the 2 ones and changed the nameplate to.
That's not
Hurts.
working anymore.
No, but you could take off one of the ones. That's probably not actually going to work either. You know what I mean? But like, it's funny. No, I mean that's cool. Like, if go with.
Oh no.
If you didn't have. If you wanted to be 1 and it just didn't work before and now it's available, like go ahead. Like that's cool.
Do you know? And I haven't bought an NFL jersey, at least not through like Fanatics or NFL Shop in a long time. I know they have jersey insurance, but like, is that still a thing?
Yeah, it is. It is. It is still a thing.
And does it apply? I guess it's probably within the year of him being
I know
drafted.
There's a time limit on it, so it probably depends. Now, the fact that most of the Hurts jerseys probably got sold late in the season last year.
They probably mostly
or in the spring this year, they probably fall into that category.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, is it a 90-day window? Is it a year?
Right.
I don't know. I know it's something that they brought up because people are getting mad of people changing numbers or changing teams. I know people literally haven't changed numbers because they have to pay to change their number if it's within, like, I don't even know what it is. If it's within a year.
Oh, see, I didn't know that.
They have to, like, buy back the stock of, like, all the old ones if they're changing for no reason. Now, I don't know if that involves, like, Tom Brady and Chris Godwin, like that kind of deal.
Right.
And maybe it's just like, hey, I'd like to change my number, like what Hurts just did.
Right.
I don't know how that all works, but I just thought it was interesting. Obviously, he's going to his college number because he wore 1 at both Alabama and Oklahoma.
Right. And I know, did Cam Johnson wear 1 for the Eagles?
Punter, he plays for the Texans now.
He's not on the Eagles anymore, so the number's up. So, like, it's not just like him, but it is interesting because Wentz went to another thing that made it interesting was Wentz went to Indianapolis, and he is wearing number 2, which would have been funny because then you would have had both Eagles, well, the current Eagle and most recent former Eagle quarterback both wearing number 2. So it was just interesting to me.
No. Yeah, so, I mean, that was that. But anyways, the Chiefs proposed allowing more players to wear 1 through, I guess technically 1 through 49. They want basically everyone but offensive linemen, I think, to wear 1 through 49.
Right.
And then defensive linebackers can wear, I think, 1 through 49 as well as 90 to 99. Like, defensive linemen can also wear that. I guess the one thing that I was really concerned about with this proposal is, unless it was written incorrectly, it looked as though they didn't want linebackers to wear 50s anymore, which would really upset me because, like, 50s are linebackers. Like, 50s have been linebackers for a long time.
Right, I don't know. Would the reason be just because they only want offensive linemen to have?
I don't know. I didn't see it. I read all this through Pro Football Talk, talking about the rule proposal. And they just, like, they had a listing there. And it was, like, I think it was linebackers 40 to 49 and 90 to 99 maybe. And, like, I forget what it was. I could pull up the article. But I was just like, why would you do that? I mean, you would have to grandfather people in. You can't just force all those people to change numbers. which then what's the point?
Oh,
Why would you
gosh.
remove that group from a position?
Right.
Like, it's fine if you're adding groups to positions,
Yes.
but you can't take a position away. So I feel like that was probably an oversight, because it would take forever for all those 50s to work their way out. It already makes me mad, and I know you know this, to see linebackers wearing 40s. Like, I hate seeing, like Patrick Queen wears 48 for the Ravens.
Right.
I was like, you're not a safety or a fullback. You're a linebacker. You should be in the 50s. I'm okay with 90s, but wear the 50s. And the numbering conventions are mostly for the refs, but it does make it easier for announcers and fans to figure
What
out.
should I do?
What's
35 seconds.
4th and 3 from where?
They're 34.
You gotta go for it. It makes it easier for announcers to figure out what's going on. It makes it easier for fans to figure out what's going on. Because there's times during college games that I'm like, what position do they play? You have no idea. You don't know who just made the big play. Especially for a team like Penn State, if you haven't memorized the names of everyone, they don't even have names on the back of their jerseys,
Right,
so you can't figure
right.
out who it is. So I know that's college is one step above high school, and obviously both in terms of what they're doing.
Oh. I wanted that throw to go over that guy. He was wide open if he throws it over the guy.
And numbering conventions, and then the NFL kind of takes it a much bigger step in every sense of the word. I just don't like it.
Right.
I don't like it.
No,
I know,
I understand.
and it was funny to read the comments on the article to see how some people were like, "Yeah, make that more fun. Players should be able to wear what they want." But like, that's not the point. The point is to make it more well organized. Now that is the way to end a half. Oh, there it is, off the main pool. It's to make it easier and more organized. I just don't like it. And that could be just the traditionalist in me coming out. I just want my linebackers wearing 50s. That's what I want.
Yeah. So,
I hate it when
To be fair-
receivers went 10 to 19.
to be fair, like on defense, especially with the way like people move around, like I don't think there should be any restriction on defense. Like just let anybody wear any number. Like I don't care. On offense, like I get the idea of the offensive lineman wearing a certain number, but I don't know. It would be pretty comical to me to see like a huge lineman wearing like 3 or something.
I know, that's what people were like. Imagine the giant lineman wearing number 2.
More importantly, they should allow 0. I know you're a big.
I
threw that out there just.
No, 0 and 00, that's fine. Because, that's just more of a personal preference.
Right.
I don't think it has any issues with organization, although where do you group that? I guess it'd probably be receiver, quarterback, specialists, things like that. I'm not a fan of it, and I don't see why the big deal of it, like why people think that's cool to be 0 or 00. But that's a personal thing. The numbering conventions of slotting positions with specific sets of numbers is an organizational thing. But I don't know. Whatever. It is what it is. We're winning. Hey.
Let's see if we can maybe add to it here. We're winning at halftime. We get the ball to start the second half.
Yeah, let's go up 2 scores here. Let's go
Oh
up
my
2
gosh,
scores.
that would be amazing.
So, I don't know. You have anything else to say about the NFL or anything else? We'll kind of dive deeper into.
Just the only thing would be, man, the Mac Jones potentially to the Niners picked up some momentum this week, I feel like. But I know there's lots of people, including me, who are like, I will believe nothing that John Lynch says until. What a field, man.
Don't you love it when you're like, I wanted you to go there?
That giant hole that was there.
We're going to talk a lot more about draft in the next 2 shows on the 11th and the 18th. I guess the 25th too. I guess we've got 3 shows after this one before the draft, which we're doing live on Thursday the 29th. Thread the needle. Thread the needle.
That linebacker came up.
But yeah, it's silly season, that draft season. Do you think 5 quarterbacks go in the top 10?
Yes.
It really would be like the top 8, right?
Yeah.
Because you have probably 1, 2, 3, right? Because you've got Jaguars, probably take your Trevor Lawrence. Jets, I guess Zach Wilson. I don't know.
Yeah, no, they're taking Zach Wilson.
And 3 is San Francisco taking Miami's who got it from Houston.
Yeah, they're going to take Fields or...
Fields, Lance, or Jones? You think Jones is a top 3 guy now?
There's a lot of talk about that. They think he's going 3 to...
We
the
said
Niners.
it last week. Look what he was able to do in 1 year at Alabama.
Right.
And look who he was sitting behind.
Right.
It's not really his
Right. I know.
fault that he didn't have a ton of
And this is not... I don't...
starts.
It's just coincidence that he's the guy who had it this week, but it is ridiculous how much that, like... So, like, Zach Wilson had his, like, pro day, and everybody's like, oh, my gosh, that was, like, the best pro day, like, you could ever possibly have. Then, like, Justin Fields has his, and they're like, oh, my gosh, that was, like, the best pro day you could, like, possibly have. No way! Got aggressive there. Thought, oh, he had him beat by a step. That'd be a great time to throw it.
Do you remember, I think I asked you this off the air a few weeks ago. Does this version of college football, or was this a later Madden thing where you could lead the receiver? Can you lead? Like, can you control that?
I think you can.
Because I feel like I'm
think you
always
can.
doing that, but especially with Florida Atlantic, I don't feel like it's working.
Right.
But I guess that's part of the low
I thought
accuracy.
if you push up with the other like with one of the joysticks as you throw, like that you're supposed to throw like in that direction, like the air in that direction. But I don't know where our quarterback's accurate.
I know if you hold the button hard
Don't get
or
wrong.
if you tap
I
it.
probably just shouldn't have thrown it there, but he got past the defender. But all right.
All right, here we go.
But yeah, so like that's gonna be interesting. The quarterback things.
Well, 4 is Atlanta.
The mock I sent you the other day, where Waddle falls to 12. Oh my gosh!
Yeah, that is
sign me up
that's
for
your
that.
dream scenario,
Sign
right?
me up for that all day. Honestly, if any of those big 4, like playmakers, fall to there,
Yes!
I'd be thrilled. Nice. Thank you for picking me
You
up.
want to return this?
Thank you for picking me up. Like if any of those 4 fell, like even, and I know I mentioned to you a couple weeks ago, like I'd have reservations if Devontae Smith falls, only because then we have like 2 of the small receiver guys. But you take him, like I'd be thrilled to get him. Like,
that's the thing. Like the mantra is always best player. Like, are you going by
oh my
need,
gosh, he fumbled.
or are you going by best player available? So you already have a smaller, quicker guy. If Devontae Smith is better than him, you take him and you figure out where to put Rager. Like that's the whole BPA. Right?
Oh, absolutely.
That's the whole...
And I feel like okay, so you've got 2 fast guys like that. Then you know what you need.
You need a possession
You need
guy.
the possession guy, and you've got a little bit of that in, you hope, in Goddard. You know.
Right. Oh, truck. Yeah. Yes. Go. Dive.
Oh, it just didn't really go down.
Nice. That's the way to capitalize.
That's our highlight of the season right there. Orville.
That's a made-up name. He was XX.
Oh.
Remember? You're taking.
I'm sorry. Yeah. I got ahead of myself.
Yeah. So that's top 3. So 4 Falcons. They're interesting. Do they go with Pitts? Do they go with Sewell? Do they go quarterback?
So I feel like if I'm them, I'm trying to trade that. We're talking Falcons here, right?
Yeah, at 4.
If I'm them, I'm trying to trade that to the Panthers, or convincing the Panthers that somebody's trying to get up into that spot
Right.
to take the other quarterback.
Yep. Drop back. 3
Right.
to 4 spots. Get a second-round pick or even a next year's first or something.
Right.
Yeah. No, I'm with you there.
But if I'm the Panthers, especially in division, I'm holding tight and be like, no, I don't think with Matt Ryan, I don't think you're taking a quarterback. You know what I mean? Like, go ahead. And if you do, we'll take Sewell, and make it work. Man, I feel like the chance for a team to get him at 5 or even 6 possibly
No.
is insane. You know what I mean? Like, because there's a lot of people who feel like he's maybe not. I know it's hard because the incredibly unlikely that all 4 or 5 quarterbacks that go early, whatever that ends up being, are hits, right?
Right.
If 3 of them go, that would be better than average because it basically averages at about 50%.
Yeah, maybe even a little less.
Right. So so here you go. Another mock I saw had the Eagles getting Michael Parsons at 12. I think that's a realistic possibility.
I do too.
I don't know how I feel about it. Like, I'd love it. Like, as a Penn State fan, I'd love for the Eagles to get Michael Parsons, and I'd love for him to be there. Like, imagine if he came there and became like the like Jeremiah Trotter style, just like in terms of like people love him. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
He's there forever, has a great career. I know he's a different style. Like, I understand that, but like just being a big time linebacker. Eagles have not drafted a linebacker in the first round in over 40 years.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Well, now's the year to change that, huh?
The Eagles have drafted more firemen in the first round than they have linebackers in our lifetime.
Gosh. This can't. Making me mad. So, what do you think the Bengals do? Do they go with the flash and try well, I don't think Chase is going before 5. So, do you think
Man,
oh,
I saw the one thing, and it might have been Ross Tucker talking about it. It might have been someone else, like saying like watching the Bengals like online arguments right now, like where people are basically like showing, and they're like, well, we can draft Jamar Chase, and basically the diagram is Joe Burrow still getting like crushed every play, running for his life, or we could and what they did there was they filled in, and it literally said like anybody on the offensive line. Or they said, or you have it filled out
go. Nice.
So that it's like anybody at wide receiver wide open because you have Sewell blocking for him. And it's tough. I don't know what you do.
Yeah, I mean, the thing that I think it makes it more difficult is because he played with Chase for a year.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Right, because Chase was he a freshman then? Because Chase only played 1 year. Oh no, that was in 2019. Was that his freshman or sophomore?
It was the national championship year, wasn't it?
Yeah. So yeah, they played together for that year. I think it was just that year.
Yeah, because that was the only year Burrow played.
It was the only year that Chase played too.
Right, because he sat out.
Because he sat out this past year. But he's stayed in incredible condition and is ready to go, and probably is the number one receiver.
And on that national championship team, he was the number 1 receiver. Like, he was the best receiver on that team.
Right, and now they have Justin Jefferson, who was incredible this year, Rookie of the Year. Or, I guess not. Did Herbert get it?
I think Herbert got it.
So, could have easily been Rookie of the Year. And Terrace Marshall, who could go in the first round as well. So that LSU team, no wonder they're set records and were one of the greatest offenses in college football history. But do you take Chase, who he's comfortable with, you would think, and hope that's great, and fill in the line elsewhere? Or do you fill in the line?
No, I hit the wrong button.
I don't know. It's interesting to see what happens. I personally want him to take Sewell or Pitts because I want Chase in Miami.
Right.
That's what I want.
Sorry, I'm just trying to not get fancy here. I'm running the clock down. Like, beggars can't be choosers here.
Nope.
Like,
no, I'm right there with you.
If they took Sewell, that would be great for you. Because then you have your choice of whoever you want. Don't get me wrong. I'm hoping 5 quarterbacks go in the top 10.
The more quarterbacks that go in the top
that means
earlier, the better.
More guys are there for the Eagles.
So yeah, I'm all about 5 quarterbacks in the first 6 picks, first 5 picks really. Heck, all 5 go in the first 5. That's fine. Even if that means Carolina trades up with I don't know if the Bengals would trade down because they're gonna have a choice of Chase or Sewell, and I assume they would want one or Pitts.
Right, they can use any of them. So I feel like it would be foolish for them to trade down. Like, they have a need, and how far are they gonna trade? Like, what value would they get? The only thing I would think there is if somebody So let's see. So it's the Falcons at 4, Bengals at
5.
5.
Dolphins at 6.
Where
Are
the
the Panthers
at 7?
7?
Ooh,
Or are they
man.
8?
I don't know.
I can't
If
think
you
off
could get
the
the
top of my
Panthers,
head.
like,
I felt like the Panthers were 8 for some reason.
do you know what button protects the ball?
I don't, actually. I've never used that. That's right, baby. Run that clock.
Where's the Hail Mary? Oh.
I don't know. It'll be interesting. You think
Oh,
we get any more trades before the draft starts, or you think that positioning is over with?
I think that is over with for the most part. I think we could get some on draft night. So, I let me rephrase that. I think we may get some on draft night in the first round. I'd
Right.
be surprised if we don't. But I think we're done with the major ones.
I think we're gonna see at least another 5 trades in the first round. Once the draft gets here, I don't think we'll see any in the first.
That actually worked out ideal if we could score here, like run more
Yeah.
time. If we score here.
I think I don't believe we'll see any in the first 6 picks on draft night, just because we've already seen those picks get traded. 3 and 6 were already traded. I don't see those teams moving out again, barring some crazy offer. And like you said, I don't see the Falcons or Bengals trading out, especially the Bengals. So maybe the Falcons, but again, they're not going to trade to the Panthers.
Unless
So what
you get
about
a
the
lot.
Broncos? Like, that's the only one I can think of. Are the Broncos 9? I think they're 9.
Yeah.
So if Denver wants to get one of the quarterbacks, if they're comfortable with who's ever left at 4, whether it would be Fields or Jones,
And
whatever.
Part of me is like, part of me doubts that they do that because, like, do you think the 4th or 5th best quarterback in this draft is better than Drew Lock?
It's all about potential.
Oh, absolutely.
And now this will be Locke's 3rd year in 2021, right?
Right, and I'm a Drew Lock guy, but they've got the weapons and they've got them locked up because most of them are young right now.
Right, they have
Like-
Hamler and Judy.
Right, but do you want to reset that clock with the rookie?
I don't know. Ask John Elway.
Well, and that's the even bigger wild card there, is because John Elway, like, just line these quarterbacks. Who's the tallest? That's the one he wants. Oh my gosh.
That's worked so far.
Oh my gosh. I saw like a commercial of like the roast of Peyton Manning or whatever. And
Did that happen already?
I don't know. I don't know. And it could be old for all I know. Like, I have no idea. But the lady up there was great. She's like, oh my gosh, you were like, your commercials are so awesome. And she like talks about how great his commercials are. And she's like, you were like the Tom Brady of making commercials. So,
That's amazing.
yeah. Yeah, listen to her.
They have a receiver that's wearing 56. I'll just let you know that right now.
Yeah, that really bothers you, doesn't it?
Oh,
That should be intentional grounding. That was bad enough.
pop those champagne bottles.
Do you want me to kneel it or do you want me to go for it?
You can run a couple plays. Run a play or two. Then you can kneel.
Oh, especially here.
Oh, yeah, I didn't realize we were that close. Punch it in. What's the worst that could happen? Oh! Our starting running back has a concussion.
That's like that hit I sent you online, like right before the thing, like where the guys are on the beach.
Or the guy lands on his neck. Bring her home. Bring her home. Start to climb back to respectability. Careful, you're going to have to start calling timeout.
I know. Well, I figured I would just run it here. Like, if I score, I can score. If not.
It's wide open. Get through. You get the first? Yeah.
I'm calling timeout.
Well, the clock would have stopped.
I know, but I called it anyway because I was afraid it was going to, like, do the... where it really starts up.
7-second runoff or whatever it does. No, it won't do that when you get a first.
Okay.
As soon as you come out of the huddle, though, it starts, I think. We're not running up the score or anything. I wonder what Coach Sands has to say about all this.
He would not be happy about that. I would know it.
Yeah, I didn't bring my phone down, so I can't even check. But all right, good stuff. LSU beat Auburn. LSU's 4-0.
Did you want to kick, or do you want me to just do it?
You can just finish it off. So, Coach Joey Raffauf, first victory, Game 4, 35-14 over Middle Tennessee State. One final play. Big monkey off our backs. We look good. 35 on offense, holds them to 14. Areas need improvement, but I'll take the victory nonetheless. That was burning me all freaking game. I can't run the read or the option, and I can't defend the read or the option. Everything else, though, I'm pretty good.
It's like in basketball. Teams that run the press hate to get pressed, that kind of thing. All right. Well, I am glad we're all set tonight there. Like,
yeah, that's good. Get our first win. That's good. I like it. I like it. So now I don't remember who we play next. I think we have actually. You said we might have a couple buys in a row.
I think we might have a double bye.
We're gonna have to sit through a couple weeks here, and we'll see what happens and who we got next. But it'll be a Conference USA matchup, a much needed win. You're right about that. Got that victory. Happy about that. Let's advance to a bye week. Have to quick run through recruiting. Nothing major going on there. There was a 75 overall running back that I got to come visit.
All right.
So they're coming in a couple weeks. Actually, it might be the next game we play. So that'd be a good get, because a 75, if you get a +5 each off season, by the time they're a senior, they're close to or not in the 90s already. So he would be a good get. Of course, we probably won't be there to realize that. At least that's what we're hoping.
That's the goal, right?
That's the hope.
That's the
but
goal.
yeah, so we'll see. But it's been fun getting our feet wet here. Hopefully, we can get more adjusted to the way our players play, and we can rattle off a few wins. It'd be nice to become bowl eligible, get to that point. But 1-3, we don't.
Yeah, we'll take it 1 week at a time right now.
Ooh, our assistant coaches. Oh, he locked us out. The 71 linebacker locked us out. Our offensive coordinator and defensive coordinator get a boost, so we got to pick what skills we want them to get.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna quick fly through recruiting here, so we can quick play another game. I don't think we have the skill to unlock him, so I guess he's being removed. Yeah. All right. Sorry, Pierre. You just didn't want us. Sure, why not? Okay. Let's see. Offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator. Do you favor anything specific, or you just kind of...
Wait, so I haven't, like on the version I have, I don't have to do this.
Oh, what did I do? I hit the wrong thing. Skill trees. So, would you, for our defensive coordinator, want to upgrade pass rush or stamina or getting off blocks? I'd probably favor getting off blocks.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, and then for offense, we can do just two things. We can go up another tier in ball security, or we can go up one that's healthier and fatigue less.
Let's do healthy and fatigue less because we don't have that many good players. We need them on the field.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. All right. You see Jim Levitt's our defensive coordinator?
No, I didn't.
I don't know. The OC's Drew Maringer. I'm not familiar with him. So, all right, we can advance the week here. But, I think, yeah. So, another bye. Double bye. That's weird.
It's Florida Atlantic, man. Right, it's hurricane season. That's
Yeah, right, yeah. We were hit 2 weeks in a row. So, unless a recruit commits and we get those points back, we shouldn't have to do recruiting again, so we can dive right into the game. But, how about the Phillies? It's a good start.
Dude, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I've worn a Philly shirt 4 days in a row. I'm so excited. And listen, I know they have 160 games to go. I know it's a long season, but it's so refreshing to see them get off to a decent start.
Right, it's been a few years.
And honestly, it's been a great start. The first 2 games, they gotten good outings from Nola. Nola made one bad pitch.
Yeah, and they crushed it.
Oh yeah, down inside to a power left-handed hitter. Everyone knows you can't do that. That's naturally a power left-hander is going to jack that, and Pablo Sandoval absolutely did. He crushed it.
We moved up to level 3.
Hey, there we go.
Oh, and we got another recruit ready to visit. So, all good things. So.
Yeah, so I'm super excited about the Phillies. Reese Hoskins has had some big hits. The bullpen played well. The defense played well.
All right, game management.
It's fun.
We can double our road warrior, or in recruiting, we can get a level of locksmith or improve our scouting.
Well,
I feel like
you.
we need to do better with game management.
Yeah,
so I'd probably say road warrior.
Yeah, I agree. Also, again, with recruiting, long haul, we can improve that, but, we just need to be good enough to get out of Florida Atlantic. See, I can say that because I know the boosters aren't listening.
Right, yeah. This is an interior talk. This is between our families. Right? All right, and recruiting. Oh, we have a guy that wants to visit, so let's throw up his visit because I think he was, for us, is a decent prospect. I think he's a 3-star somewhere, ready for a visit. Oh no, there's a. Where? Ready for this. There we go. But the starting pitching for the Phillies has been lights out. You said.
Yeah.
You said Nola had the one mistake, but.
It was incredible, and then.
Wheeler was great today.
Then the bullpen went 3 1/3 yesterday without giving up a run.
Right. And this is still the Braves, who were supposed to be one of the best teams in the NL East.
Right.
Them and the Mets, I guess. I think it's just between them and the Mets mostly. Not really sure what to expect from the Nationals now a year removed from their World Series title, but Phillies were mostly picked to finish 4th out of 5, only in front of Miami.
And not necessarily bad, just...
It's a tough division.
Right.
But... Yeah, my dad actually said, he's like, you guys didn't do a baseball preview. I was like, we've just been waiting so long to do this college football playthrough. We just didn't end up having time. We had to push it for 2 weeks.
Right.
So we didn't get to do it exactly how we wanted. But we're only 2 games into the season from a Phillies perspective, 160 games to go. This shouldn't affect what we were thinking. What was your prediction entering the year where you thought they'd finish in the division? Do they make the playoffs? And what's their record?
We put them at 2nd in the division, but they get a wild card spot.
Okay.
I could see it 3rd in the division with a possible... I think they're going to be challenging for that wild card, for one of those wild card spots.
Because I think in a normal 162-game season, you're looking at probably 86 to 88 wins.
Yeah, and I feel like they could get 87 wins this year. That's what I want to put them at, 87.
I'm a little bit less convinced.
Well, so here's the thing. They were talking yesterday. 89 wins might win the NL East because it's going to be so competitive. and teams are just going to beat each other so much. You're going to see a lot. They play each other 19 times or whatever, maybe more this year. I don't know if they adjusted the schedule. Let's say you play 19 times, like you might see a lot of 11 and 8. Like you're not going to see a ton of 15 and 4s. Like they're going to beat each other up a lot. So
yeah. So you said what 87?
I'm going to go 87.
87 and what 75?
Yeah. Second place wild cards.
I was going to go 85 and 77 in third place in contention for wild card. I'm not ready to commit to wild card, especially in third place in the division.
Right.
Just with
that means you'd have to be you'd be 3 playoff teams come from the same division.
Right, which is incredibly tough to do. So I mean,
if third place is at 85, it could happen.
I look back now 2 years ago to the last full season we had. The Phillies finished 80 and 82, but up until August they were playing really well.
Yes.
And they faded in August and had an awful September.
Yes.
So if they can get that going and they've got some improvement in some places, much better than the bullpen last year, at least so far, and hopefully the improvements come out from paper to the field. But I think the Phillies are better than a 500 team, and I think they will surprise one of the teams that are expected to finish in front of them. I'm going to say probably the Nationals, because I still think the Mets and Braves are probably better.
Right.
But, I mean, if the Phillies can upend one of them, I'd be really happy. Really happy about that. So, hey, I'll take a 2-game winning streak to start. I'm all about that.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, we're going heads again.
Yes.
I like Marshall's The Herd uniform. It's cool. Have you been following that CFB revamped on Instagram that I told you about?
No.
They showcase all the uniforms that they're updating. They just did the Big Ten, I think last weekend. They released version 10 of their game. So all the Big Ten games or teams are in there, and Penn State's Generations of Greatness is in there. But they just unveiled. Who was it? I think it was UCLA. They were talking about UCLA's uniform and how in the game they're Under Armour, but I guess this year they're now Jumpman.
Okay.
So they're like, we'll update it as soon as they unveil it, but they haven't unveiled it yet. But it's just cool to see them go through and see what they could do. Like, computer wizardry, man.
Yeah. Here we go. It's going to be big. Conference USA game here. Marshall's 2-0 in Conference USA.
Catch the ball! Catch the ball.
Yeah, this is out of the NL East, but good to see it took all of 2 games for there to be a benches clearing brawl in the NL Central.
Right.
All for it.
I don't even what happened.
Okay, so guy got hit.
By pitch?
Yeah, so Reds guy got hit. Picks up the ball and mouths back to the pitcher. Alright, okay, whatever. He eventually gets around to third. There's a wild pitch. It was very wild. But wild pitch. And he slides in and the pitcher's covering home and they get tangled up, whatever. But he's safe, he scores. But the pitcher is trying to be oh, I'm sorry, because he was just trying to make a play. It wasn't a dirty play or anything. And the guy who scored, who had been the guy who got hit, stands up and flexes in his face.
What the heck?
Well, the guy gets up kind of to shove him or whatever. But Molina, the catcher, comes over and the bench is clear. Well, they finally people are going back out to the bullpens and everything, it's over.
No,
and one of the bullpen pitchers, or there's a brush up between the shortstop and a bullpen pitcher or something like that from the other team. So it all started over again. It's oh man, game two of 162, and this is happening. How about the Orioles beating the Red Sox twice to start? That's good.
I mean, I know the Orioles are supposed to be really bad, but they don't expect much from Boston either.
No. Boston is kind of restarting.
So I guess the big talk is whether the Padres can hang with the Dodgers out west.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. I mean, the Padres spent a ton. They have so much. But so did the Dodgers. The Dodgers are big, too. Nice tackle.
All right, now you just got to be able to get off the field on third down.
That's the key, isn't it?
Yep.
I feel like that's not just in.
I feel like that is helpful in, real football too.
It's almost like I'm always trying for my team to do that in real life.
Oh shoot! Yes.
Yes. Nice play. Nice play. See, it's all that getting off blocks. Right?
I just they set up the screen. And my guy fell down. I couldn't run over there. So good stuff.
Yeah, good start. Good start. Good job.
4th and 23. I'll take it.
We'll take that.
I
We'll
mean,
take that start.
Philly's lineup isn't even all that different from 2 years ago, honestly. Now,
No.
well, you know what the biggest thing wasn't it 2 years ago? Yeah, it was 2 years ago when McCutcheon blew out his knee.
Yeah, they
in
were
like-
doing well, and
in
they were
like
on that road trip.
May or June when was that? And that really took the wind out of their sails after a good start. And but I mean, he's back at the top of the order. Then you have Hoskins and Harper, who were there
Right.
2 years ago. Same thing with Realmuto. I guess it wasn't DD. It wasn't Gregorius 2 years ago. It
No.
was who was that second?
Kingery, probably.
Well, Kingery. Well, that was the year they kind of kept
You're right.
putting him all over the field though. I feel like who am I forgetting about?
Cesar Hernandez.
Hernandez. So you're replacing Didi with Cesar essentially. And Bohm is a big, what if at third.
Should have been rookie of the year last year.
He should have been rookie of the
He
year
had a
last
great
year, but he should have another great year. And if his defense gets even a little
Oh
bit
my
better,
gosh.
like
he made that heck of a snag in Thursday's game to keep it a tie game.
and you have Nola, and I guess was Wheeler new last year, or was he there in 2019? Now I'm
I don't remember. Last year was so weird.
Last year was so weird. I can't even remember.
And they were
anymore.
terrible from the start.
Yeah.
And then didn't play a bunch because the teams that were playing
right. Well, no, didn't we replace Wheeler with Arrieta? Because wasn't Arrieta there in 2019?
Yeah.
That was the end of his third.
No, Arrieta was still on the team last year because he opted in, but he didn't really ever do anything.
Okay. I don't know, it gets confusing with the way last year played
Nice
out. Nice
one-handed
catch.
grab.
Good catch, Orville. I just think, if they could maintain the level of play that they had in April and May in 2019, and even that they held through the summer, even though it wasn't as spectacular as the start was, if you just can maintain through August and September, instead of going 80 and 82, you might win 86, 87, 88, and that gets you in the playoffs.
Yes.
They were only 8 games away in 2019. I feel like there's a good chance
And-
they can change that this year.
And what do we say every time? Like, winning your division games are huge.
Yeah.
So, every time they beat the Braves is huge because,
Get that sweep tomorrow.
oh my gosh.
And then you get the Mets right away.
Right.
And they haven't even played a game yet.
Right. Which I'm like, oh, great. So now we have to face DeGrom on Monday instead of.
Yeah, but sometimes the rust is still there. It's the first game. And the Phillies have gone through 3. Hopefully they won all 3.
Right.
That'd be great.
That would be incredible. Absolutely.
So I don't know. I'm cautiously optimistic. But I feel like we've been this way every year since 2011.
No,
I mean, really,
absolutely.
we said this on our anniversary show. The last time the Phillies were in the playoffs was the first year we did this show.
That's
the
depressing,
first baseball
man.
season
That's depressing.
during the show's run is the last time the Phillies made the playoffs. And we're now in year 11. We've finished 10 years of the show in February. So I mean, that's sobering and humbling and disappointing in so many ways. But
I'm assuming I should punt here.
where are we? Where are you sitting?
The 39, but it's 4th and 8. Do you want me to go?
You can go.
Okay.
Just make sure you get 8 yards.
Well, here we go.
But I think it's the Dodgers and everyone else. The Dodgers and maybe the Yankees.
So here we go. That was not at all what that was supposed to be. When the Phillies took the lead yesterday, I was listening to a lot, or on Thursday, I was listening to a lot of the game. The Phillies led in more games last year in the shortened season. They led in more games than every other team except the Dodgers, and didn't even make the playoffs because their bullpen was that bad.
That bad. They're that bad. Yeah. Just think about that.
Man, the radio was full of some gems. The last 2 games, I heard just a bit of today's game on the radio instead. They were telling a story today. This is fascinating. That a few years ago,
Oh my God.
That Brian McCann, in a 3-game series, during the time of a 3-game series in Philadelphia, ate 16 cheesesteaks.
Oh my
Over
God.
the course of 3 days. So it's like, how do you do that? Like, they're like, I feel like I wouldn't be able to move. They're like, well, Brian McCann was never known for his speed, but like, still, like, in my mind, I'm thinking like, like in August, like where it's like 98 degrees and you're just behind home plate. But,
That's, oh God.
yeah.
Like, what are these guys that come out of nowhere? Ran off from the bench.
Oh man. But yeah, we'll see.
Oh my God. Are you
I
kidding
heard
me?
like before one of the games this week that the Astros or the A's were playing like Carrie Underwood's song, like Before He Cheats was the song they were playing as they announced their lineup. Like, I'm here for all of it. I am the signs, all the stuff. Like, I am here for all of it. Bregman got hit the other night and the crowd went nuts. Like,
Go. Oh. Yeah, well, I'm certainly glad the Phillies are back with the way the Flyers have been playing. We've
my
talked
gosh,
about the
dude.
last 2 weeks.
yeah, sell, man, sell.
Man, you proposed that question 2 weeks ago, like, what do you do? And we were like, I don't know, like, how much longer will we have Giroux and, like, all this stuff? And last year, like, it hasn't been looking good, and now it's like, oh, jeez. You're giving games to a team that had lost 18 in a row, and you had to for it to be 18 in a row, you had to come back from 3-0 in the third period to extend it to 18, and then you lose to them 2 days later. It's just not good. It's just not good. I don't know what the answer is. Is it just guys maybe getting too old, too quick, defense breaking down, goalies not playing to their potential this year?
It's everything. It's everything.
Yeah, it's been a disappointment, that's for sure. Especially with the way most of the end of last year was so good. Oh, come on, man. I mean, obviously we know that the Islanders series didn't end the way we wanted to, but the end of the regular season and then the bubble play, for the most part, was stellar. So it's been a disappointing season for sure.
Uh-oh.
And we, cautiously optimistic about the Sixers right now.
48. I feel like we've got to punt this one.
Yeah. They have their moments. They have their issues.
Yeah, Embiid's back
But
tonight.
I was going to say, Embiid is back as long as he can stay healthy, which is a huge if. I don't know. They look pretty good to me. So. Oh, so close. I don't know. What's your take on the NBA and how much of a chance the Sixers have?
So I kind of think the Sixers, if they can be healthy to get to the playoffs, I feel like they're as good as anybody in the East. I know that's like blasphemy because of all the potential that the Nets have. But the Nets, I'll believe it when I see it that James Harden is actually going to guard somebody. And I mean, I don't know how the Sixers guard them. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know how the Sixers guard them, but I don't know how they guard the Sixers either. So So it would be a very interesting matchup. I'd love for the Sixers. This sounds crazy, but I'd love for the Sixers to get the 1 seed and then have the Nets and Bucks have to play each other as the 2-3.
That would be great.
Before they would get to the Sixers.
Knock one of them out.
Right. That would be huge. I don't know that that's going to happen. Honestly, I guess it would be the opposite. Or the Sixers and Bucks end up 2-3 and, to leave the Nets to the end. But that would be very different, obviously, because then you still have to beat both teams. Whereas if you get in that one spot and they play the 2-3, then you only have to beat one of them.
Yeah.
The key is going to be their health, though.
What's going to happen out west? Are the Lakers any good without LeBron?
No. If they don't have LeBron and... Let me put it this way. If they don't have a healthy LeBron, I don't know that... they don't have a healthy LeBron. They find themselves in that 7-10 play-in spot. And because there's that 7-10 seed, play-in, game thing this year. They're going to find themselves in that if LeBron's not good. If LeBron's good, then they'll be in the top half of the seed.
Are you kidding me?
Oh my gosh. They'll be in the top half of the seeds, but I don't know that they win the West.
What the heck just happened?
If LeBron and AD are both healthy enough, they win the West. That's my opinion. I just don't know who I would take over them. Who you taking over LeBron and AD in a 7-game series if they're both 80% of themselves?
Right.
The issue, and I really, obviously, I'm not rooting for this. I would hate to see this happen. But I submit the timeout.
Well, it's not a touchdown, but
where it's just one of those things where I don't know.
1 second.
I worry because, especially with AD, the idea of when you have that Achilles issue, and he's had injuries for a long time. That's nothing new for him. So yeah, you don't want to see a Kevin Durant thing where they come back and then he tears it completely.
Right.
All right.
So you're saying there's a chance?
Yeah.
Depends how a lot of things go, but it'd be nice. It'd be nice. I mean, obviously, I'm much more into the fly. Go! Come on, Vernon. Hit it. Yes! Oh, you just set a record. Longest kick return, 93 yards. I find that hard to believe, but I'll take it. 96 wide receiver. Was that Peerless Price?
Probably. There we go. That's the way to start the second half.
All right. Huge.
Way to start the second half. Not helping our offensive statistics, however.
That's okay. It doesn't matter.
Helping that score. Nice kick.
This dual threat quarterback's giving me a run for my money, though.
That read option is a kill. Every time I think of Marshall,
Byron Leftwich.
yes, and them carrying him down the field. You remember that?
Yep.
Oh my gosh, that was incredible. Was that a Thursday night game?
I think it was.
A Thursday night game. Dude, because those Thursday night games when we were in college, oh my gosh.
Byron Leftwich, Randy Moss before that.
Yeah. So have you, this was, I don't want to say it was before 30 for 30 was a thing, because I don't believe
Oh my
it was.
God.
But did you ever watch the Ram U on the ESPN thing?
No, I haven't.
It's a good one. It's like the Randy Moss story. It's really interesting. It's really interesting.
Frustrating.
Oh!
I drilled their quarterback, too. The quarterback's 11 of 12 for 170 yards. I think we need some DBs. Well, that sucked.
The double bye did not do much for our.
He is looking to run another one back.
Doesn't quite have the speed to get the edge unless
No.
you like just take a horrible pursuit angle, which they've done. Yeah, thanks. If it's a contested ball, we're not catching it.
No, you're right. We're not. Oy.
Upfield. Oh gosh. Unlike the 2-yard completion.
The early years of the Tom Brady Patriots.
Okay, let's see here. He's by far our best player. I mean, I know he might not actually be our best player, but
The tight end?
yeah.
No, I'm
I
pretty
know-
sure he is. You're talking about Orville?
Orville. Oh gosh, and he caught it on the run.
Alright, it looks like it's time for a turnover. Maybe, have I gotten any, have we as a team had any interceptions or fumble recoveries yet?
I intercepted them in the end zone last week, and we were off sides.
That's right.
That play right there just reminded me of that play we had this year with our middle schoolers, where like the kid just read it, like it's like 2 steps and you just stop, and the guy read it and he caught it on the run, and it's just like, all right, see you, buddy.
Yep. That was our first game, wasn't it?
Sure felt like it. I don't remember.
Was that against Berks Catholic?
It was.
Ay. Well, at least we're not going winless. We need a bit of a miracle here. Like, just find open receivers everywhere.
Oh,
I thought he was
chuck
gonna.
him.
I thought he was gonna run.
Yep.
Keep running.
Yep, so did I. I thought that was bad news. That's alright. If you can hold them to a field goal here, then we win 21-20.
I like your thinking.
That'd be pretty amazing. Here we go. Here's our pick 6 right here.
God, that'd be awesome.
Do we have anybody on our defense fast enough to run
Right.
90 yards with the ball?
Their lineman will probably catch us.
Oh,
No!
yeah.
Are you kidding me? 14 of 16 for 188 yards.
And I apologize now because we are in desperation mode, so we're gonna start really chucking it. Because why not, right?
That's the one thing that really burns me when I'm on offense. If my running game going, it sounds so football cliche. If I can get the running game going and just milk the clock, I'm not that bad on offense. but I cannot throw the ball downfield. Like, I have no vertical game whatsoever.
I know, Brad. I know.
Oh, nice. Oh!
Tried the double spin move.
Yeah, Bobby. All right, Bobby. Is Waddle to the Eagles at 12 your ideal scenario?
Oh my gosh, that's like my dream scenario now. Okay.
Oh,
That was another one where it's like, you got a big dude there, and you underthrow it. Yes, like that's my dream scenario. Because there's no way that like Chase or Pitts is going to be there at 12. You know, like there's a chance that Waddle gets there. I don't think it happens, but I think there's a chance. Like, don't get me wrong. Like Devontae Smith absolutely deserved the Heisman this year, in my opinion. However, the first third of the season, he was not the.
no, Waddle was.
Waddle was their go-to guy. I feel like it's a bit of a Jefferson Chase situation.
Right.
Where like they've got two guys who are Heisman-worthy, like wide receivers. Like that's just kind of the way it is. Yeah, I think the Mac Jones thing is interesting. Trey Lance is interesting. You know, just really not knowing what he's gonna, where he's gonna end up. It would be interesting. I don't think this is happening, but it would be interesting if Trey Lance was the guy that the Niners had their eye on, because they're keeping Jimmy G and they know, like, oh, you know, we've got a project, you know. But I don't know why you trade up to 3 for that.
Well, yeah, Jimmy G, they want a first for Jimmy G right now, and no one's giving them a first for Jimmy G. Not happening. So if they're content keeping him, and
it was interesting, and I know you saw this, the reaction to Mac Jones's overthrow in his pro day, which was basically looked very similar to the overthrow that Jimmy G had in the Super Bowl that would have iced it.
I didn't see that. I saw.
He overthrew. It was like the exact play. Maybe not the exact play, but it looked like that.
I saw highlights of Lawrence's back in February. I watched that when I was in the hospital. And I watched the Florida Pro Day the other day.
Oh, yeah.
It just was on NFL Network or something like that. So I watched Trask throwing to Tony and Pitts. There was another receiver, I think his name was Grimes, that I was not impressed with at all. And honestly, I don't know if I'm there on the hype around Pitts as a top 5 pick. I find his kind of like hybrid, like tight end wide receiver thing a little bit off-putting, just because I don't know if that's going to translate as well. I know they say, well, a linebacker can't cover him because he's too fast.
Right.
And a DB can't cover him because he's too strong. I was like, that's the tight end position. That's not revolutionary. That's nothing new.
No way! That's frustrating because like that, like sometimes I throw it when I shouldn't. That time he had him.
The computer closing speed will never make me not laugh. It's just...
Yeah. Yeah, Pitts is really interesting because, like, in the right system, I think he is a matchup nightmare.
Right, I think it takes an offensive
like,
guru.
Honestly, like, you put him on the Eagles and you go double tight end set with Goddard and him as the other guy, and, like, then you put him in, like, the slot, you know, like, yeah, I think you could get a lot of really good, favorable matchups in that instance. But, like, if you just have him out there as a big wide receiver, I don't know what that's going to be, you know, like...
And I could be completely wrong, that's fine.
No, but, like any other pick, like, if he ends up at the right spot, it's going to look like a genius pick. If he ends up in a bad fit, it's going to look like a terrible pick.
Oh, there it was again.
Especially if he goes ahead of the other wide receivers, and they turn out to be
Right.
studs.
If the Falcons take him at 4,
Right.
and then Chase Waddle and Devontae Smith are all around.
Right.
Yeah, that's gonna be tough to swallow.
Right. Like if they take him at 4 and they continue to struggle, and the Dolphins get Chase at 6, and
he
two
puts
of
up
Chase
Justin
is just
Jefferson
like,
numbers,
is like a Pro Bowl, caliber season.
which
like,
God, I hope so.
I know that would be a good problem, right? Then it's just like one of those things where, oh my gosh, can't believe we did that. Wouldn't it be crazy if that's what the Niners do? They go because they wanted Waddle or somebody at 3.
Yeah.
They just sell everybody that's the wide receiver or the quarterback. That was a disappointing second game.
Just don't have the talent, man.
No, it's
And I'm not sure I'm speaking about the players or us.
It's probably a little bit of both. But
Frustrating, disappointing. But we got the first win.
we
so
got the win.
1-4. We don't have much room for error if we want to make a bowl, though.
That's correct. That's
So,
correct.
we'll have to. I'm going to quick look here at. Georgia lost to unranked Missouri.
Good.
So I wonder what our schedule is like. And Marshall was 4-2 entering that game, so it's not like
Right.
not like exactly we were going up against someone that wasn't rolling. So. Well, sorry, Tremaine Alvarez and Chase Davis. I guess we just weren't for you, huh? So, well, that's going to wrap up this episode of the Joe Mays and J-Raff Show, episode 330 here, as we play through our NCAA Dynasty. And, Justin and I are still working through this, playing with teams that don't have as much talent as we're used to. So we're at North Texas, at Auburn, at UTSA. We have 4 road games in a row after 2 bye weeks. Then we got Louisiana Tech, Southern Miss, Old Dominion, FIU. So, I mean, other than Auburn, no super big names left on the schedule that you couldn't think we could beat.
North Texas is 3-1. That's not good.
And Old Dominion and FIU are 3-1. But all the other teams are under 500, including Auburn. But I'm guessing Auburn lost to
Some good teams.
SEC teams.
Yeah.
So,
we've got a chance to win some.
Yeah, I mean, it's still on the table. We've got, 7 games to go. We need to win probably at least 5 of them.
Yeah.
So,
absolutely.
We'll see what happens. We will be back next Sunday, so a week from tomorrow. And we're recording on a Saturday this week because of Easter tomorrow. So, for those of you celebrating, we hope you have a great Easter Sunday. Enjoy the day with your friends and family. Hope everyone's staying safe. Just anything to say before we go?
No, just have a good rest of the weekend.
All right, then that is it for us. We hope everyone enjoyed watching us win our first game, but of course also then losing our 4th overall to Marshall. Disappointing, but it is what it is. Nothing we can do about it, but we appreciate you tuning in, and we thank our sponsors, Mays Sandwich Shop and Small Player Big Play. For Justin Raffauf, I'm Joe Mays. Thanks for watching. We're listening to the Joe Mays and J-Raff Show. We'll be back in 1 week, or 1 week in a day, with episode 331.
That's a wrap on this episode of the Joe Mays and J-Raff Show, brought to you by Mays Sandwich Shop. You can watch each weekly episode live on Facebook, Periscope, or YouTube. Be sure to like, follow, or subscribe to the show on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, SoundCloud, Apple Podcasts, and Google Play. You can also rate and review us on many of these platforms as well. We'd love to hear from you. Send your emails to the Mays Sandwich Shop inbox at joemaysandjraff@gmail.com. The Joe Mays and J-Raff Show is a part of the JMNJR Radio Network, home to other productions such as the Bulldog Hour, Tangents with Friends, and Nat Chats with Dad. Until next time.